Song when the music comes around. You are welcome here, wherever you're going to, wherever you're coming from. You are welcome here. You are welcome here, wherever you're going to, wherever you're coming from. You are welcome here, 'cause it's a house of love, a house of hope and dreams. It's a house of love, and you are welcome here, 'cause it's a house of love, a house of hope and dreams. It's a house of love. You are welcome here. Y ahora en español. Bienvenido aquí. Yo quiero que vayas tú. Yo quiero que vengas hoy. Bienvenido aquí. Bienvenido aquí. Yo quiero que vayas tú. Yo quiero que vengas hoy. Bienvenido aquí, a este lugar de amor, de sueños e ilusión, a este lugar de amor. Bienvenido aquí, si es un lugar de amor, de sueños e ilusión, este lugar de amor. Bienvenido aquí.
Good morning. Welcome to Chalice Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We are a community of diverse beliefs and experiences, nurturing the liberal religious spirits and united by our desire to grow in love and in service. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever your life's journey, you are welcome here. Whether you gather with us every Sunday, once or twice a year, or are with us this morning for the first time, we are glad you are here. I'm Sarah Shepard, the worship associate today. Our service is led by our minister, Reverend Sharon Wylie. Our worship musician this morning is Tim McKnight, and our song leader is Tom Karlstrom. Our sound and video engineer is Jake Diock, and our greeters are Donna Folberg and Ron Petzold. Welcome to the Sunday worship service. Welcome to those of you here in the chapel, and welcome to those of you watching live via Zoom. Today, Reverend Sharon will explore the benefits and challenges of building a mindfulness practice. And today is also the final Sunday of our annual pledge drive. If you would like to turn in your pledge today and you need a pledge form, please raise your hands and Reverend Sharon will bring a pledge form to you. We welcome children in our community. During Sunday service, our religious education volunteers provide programs for children and youth from kindergarten through high school. Today, both elementary classes will be participating in a game day, and the youth will be exploring important philosophical concepts in an episode of The Simpsons. Please talk with our Director of Family Ministries, Kathleen Swift, to learn more about programs for children and youth. Childcare for our youngest children is always available during services. Okay. For those of us here in the chapel, if you're sitting in a row that's not full and you're able to, consider sliding over closer to the walls, just so that we've got some easy to access seats if we have anyone else join us this morning. And also as a reminder, please feel free to wear masks or step outside as needed for your comfort. You can hear what's happening inside while you're outside on the courtyard. We're always happy to welcome newcomers. If you're new, you can learn about our groups and activities through our weekly email update and monthly newsletter. Online guests will receive an invitation to join the list after this service. And in-person guests, if you haven't already, please share your email with us before you leave. It's the best way to stay connected with what's happening at Chalice. Now, let's take a breath together. A citizen of the 3 affiliated tribes, the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara nations in North Dakota. Indigenous and tribal peoples have a long and important history of engaging in contemplative and mindfulness practices in daily and ceremonial life, acknowledging the nature and sentience of lands, waters, forests, plants, the weather, sacred ceremonies, spirits, the cosmos, and all creatures meant that one had to use all faculties to maintain a high level of sensitivity to what was constantly unfolding and the sacredness that embedded from moment to moment. Indigenous contemplative practices are deeply spiritual in nature and inextricably tied to an understanding that all things are connected. Now we light our chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalist faith. I'd like to invite Judy Cavallo to light our chalice this morning. Our chalice lighting words come from Leah Durland Jones, titled, "Give Thanks, Feel Alive, Know Love." As we light this flame, we remember friends and loved ones near and far, and we give thanks. As the fire burns brightly, we open our minds and hearts to new ways of being alive, to new ways of being, and we feel alive. As the room glows with warmth and kindness, we extend our circle ever wider to welcome those who want to come in, and we know love. Our call to worship is by Joan Javier Duval. As the world shifts beneath us, we seek steadiness, the unwavering support of community, the principled guidance of wise teachings, the faithful turning of the seasons. We seek within ourselves and in one another a devotion to all that is true, all that is just, all that is beautiful. We gather here to reground ourselves and to reorient toward our heart's calling. Here we hold on to what is good, what we believe, and what we must do. With resolute and compassionate hearts, let us worship together.
Our hymn of the month for April is I Called On Today. It's from our virtual hymnal, and hard copies like this are available at the back of the chapel. So please rise in body or spirit and join with me in singing. The words will be projected. I called on yesterday, but nobody answered. I called on tomorrow, but no one was there. So I called on today, and the door was flung open. There was dancing and singing and joy in the air. So I called on today. I called on today. There was dancing and singing and joy in the air. Yesterday she is my counsel and teacher. My friend tomorrow says do not delay. But the only voice singing the song of your living is the one that is singing the song of today. So I called on today. I called on today. There was reverence and wonder and hope in the air. Moon sings of dreaming, my days gone before us. Sunset a lullaby at end of day. But the dawn sings of waking and building and sharing. The sunrise is singing the song of today. So I called on today. I called on today. There was radiant and mystery and love in the air. The ancestor whisper their wisdom and warning. Our children will travel to worlds far away, but the torch is alight with our hope and thanksgiving. So lift up your voice in the song of today. So I called on today. I called on today. There was dancing and singing and joy in the air. Please be seated.
Good morning, Chalice. I'm Jessica Schultz, and I'm a member of the Pledge Drive Task Force, also known as the Pledge Force. And this is it. This is Celebration Sunday. You probably noticed the bounce house out there. Last Sunday, our pledge, this is the last Sunday that we'll be bothering you with the Pledge Drive. Our theme this year has been, we're renewing the well of love. Our goal has been to receive 110 pledges and $356,800. And we have received 86 pledges totaling $31,500. Oh, there it is. Yay! Yay! That's a clap. Oh, I'm sorry, $311,500 and 86 pledges. We are not quite 100% there yet, but we are so thankful to every single person who has pledged. Every pledge makes a difference, no matter how big or small. So if you are ready to turn in your pledge form this morning, you can come up to the front and put it in our pledge basket. If you've made a pledge during the week, you can also come up, and you are also invited to come up and be recognized. Our children and youth have made hearts for each of you. Online folks, if you've made your pledge this week and would like us to mail you a beautiful heart, just let us know in the chat box and we'll get that to you. We also invite any children to come up and come forward to participate. Come on.
I'm asking for trouble. Did you want to keep something?
Our Sunday worship is the shared spiritual practice of our community. And we tend to the congregation during this time by sharing and honoring our joys and sorrows. Here in the chapel, you're welcome to write your joy or sorrow onto a candle card, which will be collected from you. Online, please write your joy or sorrow, including your name, into the chat box. These joys and sorrows will be spoken out loud, and then we will remove this part of the service from the recording that goes onto our YouTube channel, so this sharing won't be publicly available online. If you would like to send Reverend Sharon a confidential note about your joy or sorrow, or to make a prayer request, please email her. Her email address will be on screen in a moment. Please enjoy some music while you write down what you would like to share, so that in the sharing, your burden is lessened and your joy is multiplied.
You I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
We light our first candle of sorrow for all that is broken and hurting in our world. We'll light a final pillar candle for all the joys and sorrows in the room and in our community that may go unshared and unspoken this morning. These two are held in the love and support of our community. And now I'd like to invite the children to come forward for a story. I Am Peace, a Book of Mindfulness, written by Susan Verde and illustrated by Peter Reynolds. There are times when I worry about what might happen next and what happened before. The thoughts in my head are like rushing water, and I feel like a boat with no anchor, being carried away. I give myself a moment. I take a breath, and then I tell myself it's all right. I feel the ground beneath my feet and steady myself, and start to notice the here and the now. My thoughts begin to settle. My mind begins to clear. I am peace. I can watch my worries gently pop up and disappear. I let things go. I can say what I feel inside out loud. I know myself. I can share my kindness with others. I make a difference. I can hug a tree and thank it for its beauty and strength. I connect to nature. I can watch the clouds make shapes against the sky. I know wonder. I can taste and smell and touch and hear and see what is all around me. I use my senses. I can feel my breath fill my whole body. I tune into me. Now the water is still. I have found my anchor, and everything is all right. I don't need to worry about before or after. I am in this moment. I am peace. Now I share my peace with others. And I hope that it is carried away to those who need it. And I dream we are peace.
Please join me in singing as the children leave for their RE classes. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life, we hold you in our love as you go.
This morning's service is the 8th in a 10-part series on wrestling with digital distraction. This morning, I want to talk a bit about how we can strengthen our ability to focus and to guide our attention. So, as I've mentioned earlier in this series, this is a very trendy topic. There are lots of ideas out there about how to improve concentration. But when you look at the research, the list of strategies that are consistently shown to work is actually very short. Time in nature helps. Aerobic exercise helps. And one of the most well-supported practices for improving attention is a mindfulness meditation practice. So this morning I want to share some of my own meditation journey, in part because I think it may be encouraging to hear that you can feel like an absolute disaster at meditation and still receive real benefits, both spiritual and cognitive. I first became part of a Unitarian Universalist congregation in 2004 at First Church in San Diego, and Arvid Straube was the minister there. Arvid, as you know, is now our affiliate minister here at Chalice. He has a strong background in Buddhism and often speaks about meditation as an essential spiritual practice. So back then, as his congregant, I don't remember exactly when I first tried to meditate. I tried on my own. I also used apps. I'm not sure what would have been available back then, but guided meditations. I sat down and attempted to be still. Mostly it felt like I was just sitting there while my mind raced. Guided meditations helped a little, but it all felt like a struggle. I never developed anything close to a regular practice. Looking back, I suspect I misunderstood what meditation was, and I think I was trying to make my mind blank. That's a common assumption, that if your thoughts are racing, then meditation must mean stopping thinking. So I judged myself as being terrible at it. I mean, like, time went on, I went to seminary, and when I got there, I was told quite clearly that I should develop a daily spiritual practice. So I tried in a half-hearted way. I bought a mindfulness-based stress reduction workbook. It came with a CD of guided meditations. I did some of them some of the time. They were helpful, breathing exercises, body scans, but still nothing like a sustained practice. Life moved on. I became a minister. I came here. In 2014, I attended a 5-day silent retreat at the Mary and Joseph Retreat Center in Rancho Palos Verdes. It was a Catholic retreat. I was welcome to be there as a non-Catholic, but sort of the framework of it was all biblical readings, daily communion, that kind of thing. But that experience stayed with me and inspired me to create a 5-day silent retreat designed for Unitarian Universalists. Arvid co-leads that retreat with me, which we call the Spirit Rest Silent Retreat. Our first Spirit Rest retreat was in 2016, and this year will be our 9th retreat. Even as a leader, not fully in silence, the retreat creates a different rhythm, quieter, more spacious. It is a different way of being. So a few years into leading those retreats each summer, I noticed something. Away from the retreat, back in the pace of my ordinary busy days, I would feel a kind of longing. And I realized that what I was longing for was the silence, the slower pace, the feeling of being grounded. I realized I wanted to meditate. For the first time, meditation was something I wanted to do, not something I felt I should do. And that shift mattered. I can date it pretty precisely. It was late 2021, because that's when I decided that I obviously needed to buy a meditation pillow. Clearly, nothing could begin without the proper equipment. I share that because I like to model our very human tendencies. We all have them. Since then, over these past few years, I've developed more of a meditation practice than I ever had before. It is not daily, not even close. It's a periodic meditation practice. There are long stretches where I don't meditate at all, and I just kind of forget that I even had that as a goal. And then I'll remember with sort of a surprise, like, oh, I was trying to meditate. And so then I return to the practice again. In the early days, my mind raced during that time. And I learned in particular that having my phone nearby made it worse. Every passing thought became something I could look up. I'd think, oh, I'll just look that up so then I'll be able to set it aside. Yeah. So I removed the phone from my meditation area and started using a sand timer instead. And then often I would sit for 30 minutes, not because I was especially disciplined, but because it took me that long for my to begin to feel a little more settled and for my thoughts to slow a little bit. More recently, something has shifted again. I sat down one day with my phone nearby and realized that it wasn't pulling at me anymore. It was just there, and I didn't feel compelled to pick it up. This was the first moment I could clearly see that something was changing me. Like, it was really startling. Like, oh, I'm not as tempted by the phone as I used to be. Now, meditation is not about achieving something or being rewarded, but that moment of realizing the phone had lost some power mattered. It was evidence that even imperfect, inconsistent, struggling practice can reshape our attention, can have a benefit, can help change us. So I still sometimes describe myself as a terrible meditator, but I don't think that language is actually helpful. There isn't really a good or bad way to meditate. There's just doing it. If you are sitting there and your mind is racing and you feel pulled by the telephone, you're meditating. These days, I'm attempting something new, a 15-minute daily practice with a friend of mine, and we text each other when we've done it. We just text 15 with some little emoji. It's a small form of accountability and a reminder, because this kind of practice is easy to lose track of. It's really important, but it's not usually urgent. In the book Peak Mind, researcher Amishi Jha describes our attention as something like a whiteboard, a limited space where our thoughts appear and compete for space. She talks about how much of our mental activity involves what she calls time traveling. We move into the past or into the future. We go to the past to learn, but sometimes we get stuck there, ruminating on what went wrong. We go to the future to plan, but sometimes we get lost in fear or anxiety of what might happen. Mindfulness meditation is, at its core, a practice of returning to the present moment. Not eliminating thoughts, but noticing when the mind has wandered and gently bringing it back. That wandering is not a failure, it's what our minds do. The practice is simply noticing and returning again and again. What I've come to understand is that what feels like struggle is actually the practice working. And that's not just my experience, it's what the research shows. Amishi Jha's research has found that the minimum dose of meditation needed to make a measurable difference in attention is this: 12 minutes a day, 5 days a week, for 4 weeks. If you can sustain that, you should begin to notice a change. And of course, once you begin to notice a change, you are more likely to keep going. I wish I could tell you what that feels like. I'm not quite there yet. But I can tell you this, my friend and I had lunch this past Monday and gave each other a pep talk about committing to this practice. Like, we have 15 minutes a day. We do. And I have meditated 5 times this week, and so has she. It is helpful to remember that missing a day does not erase your progress. It's not an all or nothing practice. It is something to return to, like the practice itself. I'm also learning something about when to meditate for me. In theory, it makes perfect sense for me to meditate in the afternoon when I'm busy with church work and need a break. But in reality, the very feeling of being busy makes it harder to stop working. So I'm adjusting. Meditating after breakfast is working much better, at least for now. You can do this. You do not even need 15 minutes. 12 minutes is enough to aim for. And here's why it matters. If you're not able to guide your own attention, the world, especially the digital world, is ready to guide it for you. It will direct your attention to things you can buy, toward news designed to alarm you, toward entertainment that numbs you, toward social media that keeps you passive and scrolling. There's nothing inherently wrong with any of those things. There are times to choose them, to shop, to read the news, to be entertained, to connect online. But they should be chosen, not a mindless habit, not a reflex, not something that happens to you. Meditation in its simplest form is the practice of reclaiming that choice. It is the practice of noticing where your attention has gone and gently bringing it back again and again. So this is the invitation I want to leave you with. Not to become a perfect meditator, not to clear your mind, not to add one more thing to your life that you feel guilty about not doing, but simply to begin. 12 minutes, 5 days a week for 4 weeks. And if that feels like too much, start smaller. Sit for 5 minutes, sit for 2, sit for 1 minute and notice your breathing. Because what you are practicing is not stillness for its own sake. You are practicing the ability to come back, to return to yourself and to this moment. In a world that is constantly trying to pull your attention away, that is no small thing. It is how we begin to take our attention and our lives back. One quick note before I close. For many people, mindfulness meditation is a helpful and well-supported practice, but it is not one size fits all. For some people, especially those carrying trauma or certain mental health challenges, it can bring up difficult or overwhelming experiences. So this is something we approach with care. If at any point meditation feels overwhelming, that is not a sign that you're doing it wrong. It is a sign to stop, or to shift the practice, or to seek guidance. We listen always to our own minds and bodies. Like any powerful practice, it is something we adapt to what is right for us. Whatever speaks to you from this morning's service, may each of us here be inspired or even compelled to make for ourselves more spaciousness in our days, more time to slow down, and more time offline. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be.
Please rise in body or spirit and join with me in singing hymn number 1031, Filled with Loving Kindness. I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be whole. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be whole. Please be seated.
The Sunday offering is an expression of the generosity that makes congregational life possible. As Buddhist teacher Joseph Goldstein has said, it's important to understand that generosity is a practice. It's not just a single event. It's a quality in our hearts and minds that we can develop and cultivate. We encourage you to text your donation to Chalice. If you haven't texted a donation before, once you text the amount, you'll get a reply with a link to enter your card information. If your Sunday donation is meant to be a part of your pledge payment, please be sure to indicate pledge after the dollar amount. The phone number for text donations will be on the screen now. And if you prefer to make an in-person donation of cash or check, there are envelopes and a donation box to the left of the chapel double doors. You can leave those donations after the service. Please join in affirming the spirit of generosity that guides our communal life. At Chalice UU Congregation, our mission is to act to promote UU principles in ourselves and in the wider world. Please give generously.
One of the fun things we've been doing during this pledge drive, besides throwing streamers every Sunday, is collecting photos of people making heart hands out by the beautiful well in our garden, as well as collecting selfies from our online congregants. And with many thanks to Andrew Swingle, John Schultz, and Reverend Sharon, we have a beautiful video to share with you. Don't forget that our celebration Sunday will continue on the patio after service with a bounce house for the kids, tacos from Craft Taco, and cake. Please enjoy the video.
Please rise in body or spirit and join with me in singing When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom of each of us, every color and every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place. Please be seated.
Our closing words come from Dan Harris in his book, Meditation for Fidgety Skeptics. No matter how long it has been since you last meditated, no matter how mindlessly you have behaved in the interim, nothing has been lost. You can always just start over. It's just like when you get distracted during meditation itself. The game is to good-naturedly begin again ad infinitum. Love and blessings to each of you. You're invited to close our time together by singing the well. After our closing hymn, please enjoy our social hour online at the same Zoom link and in person on our courtyard. Reverend Sharon and I look forward to greeting you at the chapel doors to hear how the service was meaningful to you.
We drink from the well together, cool, cool water that quenches my thirst, a thirst for justice, a thirst for joy, a thirst for a love that we're all a part of. We drink from the well. We drink from the well together, hand in hand we are standing as one, standing for justice, standing for joy, stand for a love that we're all a part of. We drink from the well. Open the doors to the world outside, spirits renewed from within. Look for the dream in each other's eyes, a spark where a new world begins. Yes, we drink from the well together, heart to heart we are dancing as one, dancing for justice, dancing for joy, dance for a love that we're all a part of. We drink from the well, a spirit's renewed. We drink from the well, stand hand in hand. We drink from the well, dancing for joy. I feel my heart swell. We drink from the well.